Hey guys. Hello. I'm here. You guys have been calling for me. I've been trying to get better. I know you guys have been blowing my DMs up like, Cameron, how you doing? I hope you better. I hope you this, and this. Well, I am here, you guys. I said I'm gonna have to touch bases and do a pop-in with you guys today. And we are here. So thank y'all for hi Laverne, hi T Marie, hey guys. Had to pop in right quick. We're gonna do a little pop-in video. I got some stuff I wanted to talk about right quick. Yeah, had some stuff to go over. Hey guys. Hey. Hello. I'm here. You guys called for me. Oh, that got it. Oh, okay, yeah. Hey. Hello, I'm back. I had to take a little hiatus, you guys, so that I can do my little dental thing. You guys know how it goes. But we are back. Thank y'all for being so patient. Thank you guys for being patient. I appreciate it. We're here, honey. We're here. I told you guys I was not going to stay away too long, honey. Say I look good. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Said I hope you're feeling better. I am. Y'all. I be trying to take my meds and bounce back and do whatever the doctor say do. Says I still look a little swollen, just a little. It's going down. We'll be fine though. We tough. Caramel is tough. I'm a tough old chick. Okay, we can't stay away too long. Thank you so much, MJ, for the super chat. It says love you. So happy you feeling better. I appreciate it, you guys. I appreciate it. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. My apologies for not being able to be here on Friday. I know you guys wanted me to come on and do Car Chronicles. That was not possible. Okay. It just was not. Caramel be down sometimes too. I am human. I know sometimes, it don't seem like it, but I am human. All right. Let's go ahead and get on into our disclaimer, honey. Yes, yes, yes. Everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion, and it is used for fair use and entertainment. Okay. All right. How you guys been? I missed y'all. Just a little bit, this much. Nah. Oh, I hope you guys are well. I'm doing well. All right, so I want to do a couple pieces of celebrity news before we get into things. Okay. Yes, glad you're back. I'm glad to be back. For real, I did miss y'all for real. Like it felt weird not doing Car Chronicles Friday because that's like my normal routine, you guys. Whenever I, get up in the mornings, it's like get up, make breakfast, take my son to camp or school, and come back and make sure I'm straight, hop online and do Car Chronicles. I mean, that's my or if I'm driving, we're doing Car Chronicles. So yeah, that's my daily routine. So it felt weird as hell not to be online with you guys and sitting here talking to you guys. So, but we're back, you guys. Okay. All right. Let's get to it. Because I saw some stuff. I was like, oh Lord, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. All right. So we do have a travel advisory. You guys know it is the summertime. People are starting to travel now. And there is a travel advisory for U.S. citizens, okay, that I ran across, and I did want to share that with you guys, okay. Let me get my stuff together, honey. Y'all know I've been gone for a little minute. Child, let me get my stuff together. It's so much going on. I was like, Jesus, it's amazing how much stuff has really gone on since I've been offline. I was just like, oh, Jesus. But all right, so there is a travel advisory, you guys, for the Dominican Republic that was issued by the U.S. Over violence and sexual assault concerns. Okay, so for those of you that are planning on traveling, please keep that in mind. The U.S. has issued a travel advisory for the DR. Okay, I don't know if anybody have tickets or anything planning to go to the DR, but please be careful, you guys. They're saying that the State Department has issued a travel warning to the DR. All right, now they're saying that this past Tuesday that a yellow flag level 2 advisory was released, urging visitors to exercise extreme caution. Okay. Okay, I appreciate it. So they're saying that violent crime, including robbery, including homicide and sexual assault is a concern in the DR as of now. Okay. So they're saying that the wide availability of weapons and use and trades of illicit DURG and a weak criminal justice system contribute to a high level, you guys, of criminality on the broader scale. Okay, so if you guys are planning on traveling over there, please be careful. Okay. Like I said, it is the summertime. They also had one recently for Mexico because of all of the pretty much almost the same stuff that was going on over there. All right. So if you are going to be going out of town, they're saying it is safer to stay on like resorts, which I do that anyway. When I go out of town, I always stay on resorts, and I try not to be branching out like that too much, because you kind of do stick out like a sore thumb whenever you are, you know, flying in from somewhere that you've never been. People know when you're not from there because you're looking around, you're taking pictures. Most people who are from there, they don't give a hot damn about no pictures because they live there. But they can spot tourists out from anyone when you are in an unknown place or very unfamiliar place. So just keep your antennas up and be careful, you guys, as you're out and about traveling. I want everybody to make it there and back safely. It's just not seeming like it's safe in the DR as of now. Now, y'all know a few years back, they had an issue where in the DR, y'all remember a lot of people were unalive and or passed away because of something going on with their alcohol over there. You guys remember that? People were passing away because of something with the alcohol. I was just like, damn, do I even want to go to the DR now? They scared me, and I like to travel. But I don't know if I want to be over there, because I like to get my drink on when I go on vacation too. And it was looking like people was just like dropping like flies at one point in the DR. During that time, and I want to say it was about a good maybe 2 or so years ago. Y'all remember that? But there is a travel advisory, and I wanted to let you guys know that it's somebody said poison. Could have been. I don't know what the hell. They found a few Americans, honey, over there unalived in the DR. So now they're having this travel advisory saying people please be safe, and they're saying not to even go over there. But if you must go to the DR, please stay at a resort. Okay. I have an update on Mr. Jamie Foxx. You know, we've been trying to keep up with what's going on with him. They're saying that Jamie Foxx, and this is from a Hollywood journalist. His name is AJ Benza. He actually came out. Thank you so much, Gemini 1958, for the super chat, dear. Thank you so much, ma'am. They're saying that Mr. AJ Benza, who is a Hollywood journalist, he's saying that that actor Jamie Foxx was partially paralyzed, you guys, and blind after receiving the vaccine. So they're saying that he received the vaccine upon production telling him that he had to on set of a new movie that he was filming for Netflix. Okay. So they said he took the vaccine, and after taking the vaccine that he was starting to feel kind of sick or whatever. Now they're saying that a movie that he was working on, like I said, that production pretty much told him he had to take the vaccine. But they're saying that Jamie had a blood clot in his brain. Okay, this is what's being said. They're saying that Jamie Foxx had a blood clot in the brain. They're saying that Jamie is said to have had other complications as well. And they're also saying that Jamie Foxx repeatedly said that he did not want to take the vaccine. You know, a lot of people didn't want to take the vaccine, and that's your choice. He was one of the people who did not. But when you're working on movie sets, and you know, with COVID just now kind of being over, well, not really over, it's still out there. It's just not as talked about as it was then, where everybody was on high alert. But they're saying that he repeatedly said he didn't want to take it. They're also saying that, as you guys know, that Jamie is currently moved from the hospital that he was in Atlanta. He is now in a Texas rehab where he is now recovering. It's been over a month now, you guys, that he's been in this rehab where they've seen several family members, including his daughter, who actually went there to visit him and you know, check up on him and see how he's doing. But that's the only update that I really like Kenya. You know, now we all know how Martel is about anybody that he's claiming that is his woman. Okay, let me just say that, because he claimed for years, oh, Melody cheated. He was all in his feelings, telling everybody that had a damn ear that Melody was cheating. So we all know how Martel is very, very, very protective when it comes to women that he deal with. But he can go out and mess around all he wants. He can have 1,000 women. But she's sitting on interviews now saying that she's out dating and seeing other people, and that she would even date outside her race. That she's looking for somebody. She said her ideal type of man is someone who is handsome, somebody who is God-fearing. Martel is not God-fearing. You cannot be God-fearing and be that much of the devil. Martel is not nice looking, not to me. I don't see anything nice looking about him. He has a nice body because he work out, but in terms of his looks, I don't think he's fine. I'm sorry. And I said that plenty of times. And it's no shade. I'm just being 100. I don't think he is fine. I don't think he's fine. Now, he does work out and keep his body up, and that's a great thing, health-wise. But in terms of him as a person, he sucks. Martel is trash, and Sheree always bend over backwards for these trash-ass ninjas and be sitting on interviews and be sitting there defending the hell out of them. She's sitting there defending the hell out of and lying for Martel after you done blocked him. Sheree has blocked Martel. She is not no good friends with Martel. It's all lies. I've done a whole live about it. I see it in the chat. Y'all saying she like nice looking men. Bob was not nice looking. What is nice looking about this shit? What's nice looking about this shit here? What is nice looking about this? I'll sit here for a second. What's nice looking about my eyes like this? Bitch, you don't know if he cheating on you or not. Because he looking at you and her and her and her. He looking at everybody. He looking at everybody. You think he cheating and he not. Bob, why you looking at her? Bitch, I'm looking at you. And he's sitting there like, eyes cocked like 4 pistols. That's fine, Sheree. That's fine. Sure. You did upgrade just a little bit looks-wise with Tyrone. Tyrone wasn't a bad looking guy. But he was trash too. He was criminalistic. This motherfucker could steal the butter out your cornbread. You bite your cornbread and be like, damn, I know I put some damn butter in here. I can't believe it's not butter up in this damn cornbread. Fooling around with damn Tyrone. But he had some corn about him. That's why she fooled with him as long as she did. And he was locked up and not even giving you the D. Your choice of men suck. But then you want to call Kenya out and shade Kenya because of the type of men she choose, saying that they suck. Now, granted, Kenya's ex-husband is trash too. Trash, recognized trash, honey. But you, Sheree, cannot speak on anybody in terms of talking about somebody else's man, baby. Because every single man that you've chosen that we know of thus far, honey, has been trash. I'm just saying, Bob got 3 left eyes, bitch. And now you sitting up here talking about you looking for somebody that's fine. I'm looking for someone fine and God-fearing. Ain't nobody you been with was God-fearing. I mean, damn, Bob left you in the damn house 2 days after y'all came back from honeymoon to go be with another biatch. And y'all just got married. Tyrone decided to go out here and commit crimes and be in prison for years and years, leaving you alone. Now you with Martel, who is all over Atlanta. When he come in, you don't even know he's there because he out on the host roll. So what's it giving, sis? Girl, you sat there and looked for, but you was married to Bob for years and he trashed you and abused you according to you, and you stayed because of a lifestyle. Bob was looking at you and everybody else, but that was fine. When he told you on Real Housewives of Atlanta, you're not getting them 7 figures. Bob said, you're not getting 7 figures. I mean, I'm going to represent myself in court. You're not getting the 7 figures. That's what he told your ass. And he was looking at you just like this. Bob said, yeah, you will not be getting the 7 figures. And went right in there and represented himself and won. But that's what you call fine, girl. You couldn't even find a man with good eyes, girl. Now you got one that can't. Now you had one that couldn't even damn read and pass an open book test. But you talking about somebody else, man, girl? Your man couldn't even pass an open book test, girl. You didn't even graduate from high school, girl. So you can sit back with that. Okay, let's continue.
I was like, she's a grandma. She's like, no, she's like the grandma.
Yes,
I was like, okay,
grandma.
Gigi.
Absolutely. Well, that's exciting, though. It is. She's amazing. She's incredible. It's like I'm watching her. She's growing so fast.
You talking about her grandbaby?
So fast.
Yeah, and you said it brings the family together even more.
Yeah, we're already very close knit family, but yeah, bringing Mecca in is
so pretty
incredible
too.
Thank you.
So what else are you working on? So we know about She by Sheree. You got your chateau. All right. Also, your fitness journey too, because honestly, there's one thing that's undeniable, and that's the fact that you are in amazing shape and always have been.
Thank you. Yeah.
So are you going to do more with that? Because I feel like that's the move.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a fitness program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how to get your butt in this fitness program?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
That will be in the fitness program.
Because every time we watch
that's
it,
something I've always wanted to do. I've been wanting to do for a long time, but then it gets when other people were doing videos, and I'm like, they kind of dumb down what I really work out. Like I really.
Yes, you do.
This is my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then when other people were doing it, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do it anymore. But people, it's room for everybody.
Yeah.
They're doing it.
No, there is.
Life or not.
And I think one thing with the platform that you have, people watch the show and they're like, Sheree looks amazing. Yeah. Like, no matter whatever type of drama going on or what anybody has to say. Yeah. That's one thing. The way your style, your hair looks really cute right now, too.
Thank you. Right now.
Finally.
That's that shade.
I like the new color.
And your skin look great.
Thank you.
I'm over here like, what she got on that skin, girl?
Makeup.
No, it got to look good under the makeup because I can see it.
She's got a facial recently, too.
Yeah, I'm trying to, take care of myself a little bit more because I've been working so hard. Yep. And sometimes it's not easy to be able to do things that I need to do to maintain myself. So just for me to have the space to be able to do that. Now, what do you think about Manetta and some of the new women on the show?
Oh, my gosh. I love Courtney.
She's
spicy.
Yeah, she's spicy, but she's also a fun girl. She is a little...
That's her how she liked Manetta on the show. She said, oh, I like Courtney. She didn't even mention Manetta. She don't like Manetta because Manetta too real for her.
She's a girl's girl.
Okay.
She can be a little good.
Manetta called her out about Martel too.
I don't know. I don't know yet. The jury's still out.
Fun. I think she's fun, but I like the fact that she can hold her own. I mean, how many people can? I don't want to give you too much, but yeah, she can definitely hold her own.
Yes. Well, she came out swinging. So I mean,
she did.
Yeah. And when you so it's hard as a viewer. I'm a regular viewer. It's hard to know if this is really her personality or if she's just trying to have a moment so she can stay on the show, because you don't know someone's personality initially. So it's just like, is this who she is, or is she just trying to have us talk about her? That's all.
I think that it was a genuine. It didn't come across very well because it was like the first episode. You're like, wait a minute. They're just meeting. But that was something that was she wanted to talk about, and Candy apparently wanted to talk about it as well. But knowing Courtney, our kids actually went to school together.
Okay. So you know her.
Yeah.
Thank God your kids went, because you sure did.
She's a girl's girl. She's fun. She's a fun girl.
Okay.
But I like the fact that she also holds her own. Sure.
Okay. What about Manetta?
What about Manetta?
Okay. So, but you're not getting along with Candy this season either, right?
Candy and I had a little bump in the road.
Because she spoofed you, which was funny.
It was funny.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, when you're talking about, she spoofed me, but she also kept going on her show talking about my business.
Okay.
Right.
So
she don't like Candy because Candy called her out about Martel.
We're trying to support our families.
Right.
So I've supported Candy's businesses.
Okay.
When I was on the show and off the show, I would take, people to restaurants. I go, to her plays. And I pay my own way, and I pay whoever else that was with me.
That's how you support your friends.
That's how you support your friends. But when you're
Martel problem
on your platform and you're talking negatively about my brand, it took a while. It took a while to come out. But you're talking negatively about my brand, and I never said anything about your brand. That can hurt my brand.
Okay.
So since you started
real life.
Let me finish it.
Yeah, that's real life business.
Yeah, that's real life
to have
business.
somebody kind of bashing what you have going on.
Yeah, and we're supposed to be women who support. You say you support. You're pro woman. You're pro. Women empowerment, black businesses. But you're trying.
Did Sheree not sit on an interview with Marlo Hampton and trash and talk mess about Candy? Candy this, Candy that. We've seen it and we've seen it and we've seen it. I talked about it and played it on my channel where Sheree sat on a platform with Marlo Hampton and talked trash about Candy Burrs, honey. About Candy this and Candy. She keep Candy name in her mouth more than anything else. But then you sit on here and talk about Candy trash you. No, you were talking about her as well. You don't like Candy because Candy revealed that you and Martel were fake and that Martel was seeing one of her friends and it actually called her to have a photo op at one of her restaurants, okay, as a date for someone else. So she kind of put your business out there while you and Martel was trying to fake. Candy put it out there that you and Martel's relationship was fake, and now you don't like her because you're saying we trying to support our families. Candy pretty much coming in and messing up the setup because she's telling the truth when you out here capping and lying with Martel. Martel running all over town asking everybody and their mama, can they come here and can they come there, and they're going to take pictures just to prove that he was there with somebody. And you mad because y'all cover keep getting blown, and Candy is the one that's doing it. Don't call her at her restaurant asking, can people come there and have photo ops? It was at her restaurant. So if you should be mad at anybody, you should be mad at yourself because you look stupid to continue to sit here and play along with this mess instead of moving on with your life. How old are you, Sheree? 50 what? 50 what? You continue to look embarrassed on national TV with these stupid ass men who continue to play you. When you can go out here and find you a relationship and go sit your ass down somewhere.
And to your mind down.
Gotcha.
And it feels like the show also, as usual, I mean, there's always different cliques. You know, it always feels like this clique against this clique. So mentally, how is it for you? Like you said, you did take a break, you came back to the show, now you're prepared for what it is that you need to do. How do you feel mentally? And what are some things that you're doing differently this time around?
Well, mentally, I feel like, so when they talk about the cliques, how old are we?
Y'all do have cliques though.
I don't have a clique. If you look back, I've always been a one-woman show.
Okay.
I've never had a supporting cast.
Okay.
I've always had to hold my own on my own.
She's clicked up with Kim Zodiac.
Really have my back 1,000% like I have some of these other girls' backs.
Okay.
So I'm Team Sheree. But I support the other women. But I don't feel like we need to be divided and I need to pick a team.
Right.
If I like this person, I like this person. I don't give a fuck if you like them or not. That has nothing to do with my relationship with that person. And we're too old and too grown to say, oh, she's over there. I'm talking to that person. I can't talk to her. That is so silly to me.
All right, well, I'm with it. We're still watching the show, as you can see clearly.
Yes.
Right. Jasmine actually changed her flight so she could be here because she's like, I'm not missing
I was like, I can't miss this.
Thank you. Thank you for saying it.
I'm
Look
saying.
at that watch. That's a nice watch, too.
I like
She's fancy.
girl.
I know she is. Well,
All right, that's the end, you guys. That's the end of Sheree and her lies, child. I ain't got no more for Sheree, honey. I ain't got no more for Sheree. But yeah, she's Sheree stay lying. I cannot take Sheree. I just can't. She knows she sat there and said Martel was her man, and I wanted you guys to see those lies. And then she don't have a very reputable storyline. And I get it. You got to do what you got to do, honey, to get a check. But don't be sitting here flip-flopping and don't get on Love and Marriage Huntsville, honey, and be doing 20 questions with Martel and to the point where he going and questioning Tiffany about something she said. You shouldn't give a hot damn about that because you know the shit is fake. Ariana came out and said it was fake. So, I mean, damn. Not that we believe everything that Ariana have to say, but damn, she would know because she's still fooling with Martel. She's saying to you, I'm still sleeping with him. So how is this supposed to be your man? You claimed him. But you out here sharing pain with all the other women. Now, he was just spotted in Atlanta at the Spider-Man event with Belinda. Just spotted with Belinda. Now, Sheree just did this interview, knowing that you already blocked Martel and that y'all are not friends. You don't even see it for Martel. But you're still trying to keep this storyline up because you're still on the show and you want people to believe it so people will continue to watch it and keep the ratings up because you want your check. But at the end of the day, she don't want Andy Cohen to let her go because of this fake-ass mess. And he know it's fake. That's why he's about to do this shake-up. And I already saw what it's... Yeah, I got sources. I ain't even going to tell who even told me the shit. But yeah, Andy Cohen is about to do a shake-up. And it's not going to be surprising if she's not going to be on the show this next season. Because I don't think Martel is going to continue this whole storyline mess. Because behind the scenes, he's seeing Belinda. Period. We already know it. Why he's trying to say, oh, Belinda's friend. Belinda was seeing a friend of mine. Lies. Lies, lies, lies. Let's continue, child. We talked about Martel. In this interview with Sheree, we're going to talk about him some more because I found out something while he's out here taking Mel to court, honey, for babysitters, trying to say that Melody have all these damn babysitters. He ain't telling the fact, and he's saying, too, he didn't want his children watched by a man. Well, Belinda's babysitter is a man. Did y'all know that? Of the LGBT community as well. Yes, he is. So whenever you leave your kids over there and this babysitter slipped up and talked about it, he's done been around Mel's kids. And I'm pretty sure Melody probably don't even know who this person is. Okay. So Belinda has been watching Martel's kids and you have not given Melody first right of refusal, as you said in your interview with Queen Sheba, as it relates to your children being watched by someone else. But you went on and on about you didn't want the kids watched by Marcus. So how is it, pray tell, that you don't want your kids watched by men, but you allow them to stay with Belinda's babysitter, which is a man, whenever you and Belinda step out? I mean, what's a given? What's a given? Okay, we'll say allegedly. We'll say allegedly. But yeah, that's what I want to know. I want to know that. I want to know that. So let me pull this up right quick because this is something I saw. So yeah, I think that needs to be addressed. I think Melody needs to go back to court and file some paperwork, honey, as it relates to having this whole who can watch your kids and having the kids even on social media and on television, because that's something Kenya Moore did when it relates to her daughter, because her ex-husband didn't want the child on national TV or on social media as well. And Kenya had to go back to court and have it overturned. And I feel like Melody can do the same, because if you're saying you don't want your kids on national TV, and we talked about it the other day, because you want them to be of age to where they can speak up and say what they want when they want it at a certain age, the same should apply for Knox. And I get it, Knox is not an Eminem child, but he is your child. So if you have one rule for over here, it should apply for over here too. Why are there separate rules for your children? And I get it, Knox is not Melody's child, just said, but if you don't want your kids on TV or social media, then you should not be promoting Knox. So Melody should definitely go back to court and have that looked into again. Okay, so let me play here where he talked about the first right of refusal. Okay, let's talk about that. All right, so thank you so much, Donna Rose, because
refusal, which leads me to my next question. I did see that, so thank you for asking, because that's a fair question.
Shout out to Queen Sheba.
Did you give her the first right of refusal when you let Belinda? No, when you let Belinda keep the kids. When Belinda, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. So you tell me about that. What's that situation?
You tell me about that. You did it.
When she had, when has Belinda ever kept your kids overnight? And if so, did you consult with Melody?
No.
Okay.
No, she never kept the kids overnight.
So the kids were just visiting when Belinda posted them on her social media? Like, how did that even happen?
Yeah, well,
you weren't expecting that to come out.
Belinda's a friend. Belinda's a friend. She has been a friend for a while now. She's a good person. She's dated one of my good friends here in Huntsville. They dated for several months or whatever. But I went to an event and I took the kids over there for a few hours. So no, I didn't have to have permission or give Melody a first right of refusal or anything like that. We were in the same city, and I probably was like about 20-some minutes away from them. And so they just stayed over there for a little bit. So no big deal.
All right. So now we're getting heated, but we're still staying sophisticated. How does a good friend sign a property deed for you, Martel?
So
y'all see that? Y'all see that? Oh, you don't have to give Melody first right of refusal, but you made such a big problem about that, about your children being watched by someone else. And the only people that was watching, and I said it the other day, was Marcus, Miss Van, and Melody has her babysitter. And I think she said a friend of hers also watched the kids, but they watched them in her house. So why do you not have to give first right of refusal and Melody does? That's not fair. Why are strangers watching this woman's kids? Just because you know them, she has a right to know who her children are with. You don't want them watched by a man. Your uncle watched them. Your Uncle Sam have watched your children. And he's a criminal. He's a criminal. So you trust a criminal more than you trust Melody's family, which is Marcus, to watch your children. Marcus is an educator. Marcus don't have no criminal past. Marcus ain't even, he said he ain't so much as he ain't never been arrested. He is an educator. He is their uncle, their blood uncle, regardless to the fact that Melody didn't know him all her life. She's known them since she was a teenager, according to her. Melody is in her, late 30s? Like, seriously, he want to put a timestamp on somebody knowing somebody. You just said you've known Belinda, for a few years? Like, come on, Martel. It's a double standard here when it comes to babysitters for your children. You saying Melody got 20 babysitters, but it's looking like a whole lot of people are watching your children behind the scenes. I already did a live when he went to where was it? To go do the little parade thing that he was in when he had the kids on the back of the truck. He had several people there watching. He had a security person watching the kids. He had this other lady that was in like a tan shirt watching the kids, another lady in a green shirt. His mama was watching them, and somebody else. It was like 4 or 5 people watching them kids that particular weekend. While you had them on the back of a hot ass truck with pretty dresses on, Martel. So you cannot sit here and be trying to tell somebody who can watch your kids and who cannot, when you are not following the same rules that you are asking someone else to follow. Now, that's just on period. Now, let me go ahead on and fast forward it to where he was talking with his babysitter, and this is Belinda's babysitter, was talking about Boss Baby, because he watches Belinda, and y'all know Belinda got 5 kids, okay? Belinda has 5 kids. And he talked about Boss Baby. So how you know this much about Boss Baby if you ain't never been around her? Because y'all know Belinda was watching Boss Baby. Let's fast forward, honey. Let's fast forward it. Shout out to Donna Rose, honey. Back it up a little bit.
A video. Check this out.
Check it out.
I wish it was down there. I wish it was like Boss Baby. You know how like they acted all nice and kind, but when the parents leave, they just test baby them. Yo, I wish it was down there. I wish it was like you know how like they acted all nice and kind, but when the parents leave, they just test baby them.
One more time. The people.
Yeah, we ain't gotta do it no more times. Y'all hear that? That's Belinda's babysitter, a male. That's not their dad. Y'all know Belinda, she just got divorced not too long ago. So if she was dating somebody because Belinda literally just got divorced. So how is it that Belinda was dating your friend a few months ago or whatever when she just got divorced? Was she dating this person while she was married? Because she literally just got divorced. Seriously, to her ex-husband, who she said publicly was a abusive divorce where she was disrespected in her marriage, kind of the same mess that Melody went through with Martel. So it would seem to me as a woman that Belinda would be a little bit more sympathetic to the fact that Melody went through what she went through. She's a mother just like Melody is. And I know that you know Melody and Martel was in court for their children and that Martel was not supposed to be posted because Martel tells all his business to his women. He really does. Ariane knows everything as it relates to the Eminem kids and Melody. You cannot tell Ariane anything about Melody that she doesn't already know. That is how Martel operates because he wants his women to feel like Melody is such the enemy. So he tells them everything in terms of the custody arrangement in his own form because we already caught him in several lies in the Queen Sheba interview as it related to the paperwork from the courts. But my point is, why is it that you are making such a big deal? Okay. Now, Martel also likes to say he's not homophobic. He is very homophobic. All right. When Carlos King asked Martel at the reunion if he felt that way about Marcus watching the Eminem kids, Martel, he doubled down and he refuted being homophobic and even went on to say that Mel didn't know Marcus all her life. So Marcus shouldn't be watching the kids or any other man. Your uncle have watched the kids. Now this man who is Belinda's babysitter have watched them and there's no telling who else. Did Melody get first right refusal? I don't give a damn if she was in Atlanta. If they were in Atlanta, her brother lives in Atlanta. Why you didn't take him over to Marcus' house? If you're not homophobic, if you have nothing against Marcus, Marcus said he never done anything to Martel. He only fell out with Marcus when he and Melody broke up. When Melody stopped fooling with him, he stopped liking Marcus. You used to go to Marcus' house. You used to go to cookouts at Marcus' house. You used to swim in his pool. You were cool with him. So now that Melody has divorced you, now all of a sudden you have a problem with Marcus. You didn't care how long Melody knew him before the divorce when you were going over there eating up his food, swimming in his swimming pool, kikiing all up in his face. But now all of a sudden that Melody dropped you. Now all of a sudden you don't like Marcus. The kids can't be around Marcus. Why is that, Martel? You are homophobic for a reason. And we talked about this. Now it has been confirmed, like I said, that Belinda, which is, and I'm going to say side piece, and I add allegedly to it. There's no way in the hell that you signing deeds, 4 of them to be exact, that we done dug up. 4 deeds to be exact for just some random friend who is a male friend if you are dating his friend. And why you switching off and dating somebody who your friend used to date? Why you turning around and dating somebody? That's nasty as hell. Like, where's the bro code there? Don't men have bro codes anymore? I don't want to date somebody that my husband used to date. That would be weird as hell. Or that my homegirl, let's say it that way, because Caramel don't get down like that. We don't get down like that. I don't want to date somebody that my homegirl used to date. Like, that's just too close for comfort. I'm sorry. I don't want to be fooling with somebody. That's too close. Was Marceau messing with this person? Is that the friend he's talking about? Because he hang around with Marceau very close. So did Marceau mess with Belinda behind the scenes and y'all kind of trading women off? And I say allegedly. Who is this friend? Who is this friend out of the blue that used to date Belinda for months? And then you turn around and you good friend. You said one of my good friends used to date her months ago. So now you messing with her and you popping up out of the blue in Atlanta at movie premieres. She's all dressed up like she's on a date. She done had her babysitter watch the kids so that she can be there with you, for you, and take photo ops with you. So what's really going on with this Belinda? You done cooked in her kitchen. We done showed it. Please go out and come back in if you do not have sound, okay? My apologies. I'm not sure what the hell is going on with this video today, honey, while the sound is going out. is giving way too much. Okay. You can tell he made it up because when she asked him about it, it took him a while. He had to look down and start stuttering. I could tell body language. I read it very well. I read it very, very, very well. Now, this man is of the LGBT community. There's nothing wrong with that. You live the way you want to live, but you have a problem with their uncle who is that way. So I would think that you would have a problem with Belinda's babysitter who is that way. And you are comfortable with leaving your children with said person. Okay. So Martel continues to contradict himself when he gets caught lying or when he gets back into a corner. You want to put out a rule, but then you don't want to abide by that rule. And then you like to try to overtalk somebody when they catch you in said lie and then get upset. You saw Martel start to get, so hold on. So tell me about this. No, bitch, you called me for an interview. How about you tell me about it? You called me for me to interview you. He called Queen Sheba to ask her to interview him. So now you want her to tell you something. No, you tell her. She's asking the questions. You're not asking the questions. She is. And that's what I would have said. Now, I'm asking the questions. I would have told his ass that. I'm asking the questions. What you tell me what's going on with this person, with Belinda. You tell me. He blew up saying that that's the mother of my kids, That's Melody's the mother of my effing kids, and those are my effing kids, and I don't want any males watching them. Your brother done watched the kids before. He's a criminal as well. At your admission, you said in a whole interview that your brother was running the streets and wild and out there like that, but you still allowed your children to stay with your brother. How safe is that for your children to be there? Anybody could have come there if he's a street guy. We already know how things go in the streets. If he hanging out in the streets like that, what's he doing watching your children? I don't care if he is your brother. That's still putting your kids in harm's way. What if somebody got a vendetta against your brother and they kick the door in with your children over there? That puts them in an effed up position because you made the choice to let them stay there. Okay. You done had your children around your father who spent several years in prison. Regardless to the fact that he is your father, he is also criminalistic just like you, Martel. It's okay when it's your people, but it's not okay when it's Melody's people. I mean, you did say that. Now, could Martel be feeling that way about a male watching his kids because he may have experienced something horrific as a child himself? Let's dig deep into that, because I know somebody who went through something like that. Usually people who have that much fear of someone of the opposite sex being around them or around someone very close to them, it could be because they experienced something very, very horrific as a child and they were not protected. So they are very protective when it comes to their own. And y'all know where I'm getting at. Martel's insecurity and his anger stems from more than Melody leaving him. Martel didn't have a great relationship with his mother, okay? Because we know his grandmother raised him, all right? Follow me? So growing up, she wasn't a protector and barely provided for him, okay? Which is why he gives his grandmother so much adoration. His grandmother could do no wrong. He said it in front of Marlene several times. My grandmother this, my grandmother that. He praised his grandmother, but I have yet to hear Martel speak of anything so outlandishly beautiful that his mother have done for him growing up, except for the fact that she made him fucking sandwiches as a child. We'll say allegedly. I see y'all putting it in there. We'll say allegedly. It's something there. It's a reason why Marlene does not want to go to therapy and doesn't think that Martel should go to therapy, because there's some things in the family dynamic, and I'll say allegedly, that may have happened that they don't want to come out in therapy. Y'all know how family grow up with several different skeletons in their closet, several different secrets, as they call them. Now, this is in the family. We don't tell family secrets. She don't want him to go to therapy, and she continues to tell him that he's okay. When looking at him, she knows deep down he is not. Something that he went through as a child that now has him damaged as a grown man, okay? Martel could not come to his mom for things because he was afraid of being physically punished. And that's by his mother's admission. I'm not even going to say allegedly. She said that on national television when they went to Destin, Florida on the boat. She said that she would beat him and or spank him, give him corporal punishment. We'll call it that. We'll clean it up. He got corporal punishment for coming to his mother and telling her that he was bullied or that this person was doing this or this or that was going on. She would spank him because she saw that as him being a whiner, or maybe back then they called it a tattleteller. You would come and telling everything, and she would tell him go play, give him a spanking and tell him to go play, when some of those things may have hurt him. So that put him in a mind frame to think, well, as as my mother's son, I cannot come to her and tell her things that's really bothering me, or if something really did, or someone really did something, because I'm afraid of being punished in that way. Follow me? Okay. He used to get what she said, I used to tear his ass up. That's what his mother said. That's what his mother said. It's not, you raise your kids however you choose, as long as it's not abuse. Okay. But she saw that as whining. Okay. So could inappropriate behavior towards him allegedly be the reason why he's so aggressive about male babysitters, because of his own alleged issues as a child? That's not unheard of. And I'll say allegedly, okay? When children grow up in homes where they aren't allowed to speak up out of fear or corporal punishment, they hold things in, and those secrets start to eat away at them and become a bigger issue in their lives as adults, okay? Somebody in this chat probably went through something like that, and you know where I'm coming from when I say that. It's embarrassing as a boy, as a young boy who sees himself as a up-and-coming man, to maybe have been violated allegedly in a certain way. It's embarrassing to tell someone else, especially a female, because that kind of chips away at your manhood in a sense. It does. It's embarrassing. So you hold on to that information because you don't want that secret out there. You don't want someone else looking at you in a different way, or you don't want to be punished and or called a liar. Because growing up, if a family member was the person who violated you and you told a certain family member, especially if it was a very, very close uncle or aunt, you could probably be told that you're lying and then get a worse spanking for that when you're really telling the truth. But because you're a child and that you're looked at as someone who is not as reputable as an adult, then you are punished for something that you're really trying to get out and get help for. So where is all his anger? It's more than just the fact that his ex-wife left him. Okay, I'm gonna keep breaking this thing down. Y'all gonna follow me. Some of y'all still looking at me like, huh? Yeah. Y'all know I'm on to something. Okay. We all know that narcs are very controlling. Marlene is a narc. Where did he learn that behavior from? That's learned behavior. Martel is a narc. His mother is also a narc. They have similarities in their behaviors, in the way that they think, in the way that they conduct themselves. Marlene is a narc. She is in denial at the fact that Martel has issues, just like she's in denial of her own issues. And she don't want him to get help because that's going to then uncover her issues. Do y'all understand where I'm going with that? So it's be quiet. Don't you go get no therapy, because she's told him in several episodes, you don't need no therapy. My boy's fine. When you know deep down he has a lot going on inside. And if he talks about those things, that uncovers the bullshit that you've been sitting on for years, as called a family secret. We don't tell family secrets. It's unheard of. So by you telling your shit and you getting help for stuff you went through, you got to talk about the stuff that I allowed and stuff that went on in the house when I was there that I did not address, which then makes me guilty as well. As a mother, as a protector, as a provider. Mothers are protectors of their children. And if you allow something and did not address it, you, ma'am, did not protect your child. You're not a protector. You're an enabler. There's a difference between a protector and an enabler. An enabler sits back and sees shit going on and you don't want to address it, maybe because your brother or someone very close, like I just said, you don't want to address it because you don't want the family dynamic to be, and I'm going to say it, fucked up. So you sit on it and you punish your child, which then they have this it chips away their ego, and they have this attitude that continues to grow towards you as their mother, which is why he don't have adoration for his mother like he did his grandmother. He didn't name a wine. He didn't say his wine was inspired by his mother, the person who gave birth to him, who pretty much helped him, grow up to be the person that he is, aside from his grandmother. You didn't say your mother gave you that, the idea of this, that you adore your mother and that you wanted to put this wine into, the idea of your mother and your grandmother. It inspired you to do a wine because of them. You said your grandmother, you skipped over your mother. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why she's now, as a grown woman, Martel is a grown man, and she's so overly protective of him when you were not protective of him as a child. Why is that? That energy was not reciprocated as a child. But as a grown man, he don't so much need that protection now, but you are overly protective as a child, as a grown man. He's a grown man now. Anytime somebody, and it's always when another woman has something to say to him, even when it came to Melody, she was so overly protective when it came to Melody. You didn't live in the house with them. You went by what your son told you. But you were overly protective of him, as you always are. And we've seen it so many times. We were just like, damn, that damn Marlene boy. It's to the point where other people watching are just like, damn. In Martel's case, okay, no man was around to protect him or teach him how to defend himself because his own father, was in prison, you guys, okay? His entire life, his father was in prison, so he didn't have a man around to teach him. He may have had uncles, but he didn't have his father, the most important person who is supposed to teach you how to be a man in his life, because he chose to live a life of crime. Okay, which is where Martel got it from. He almost spent his entire life, damn near, 10 years of it, in prison because he chose a life of crime. So whatever father did, that is what the son did, because that's what children do. They want to be like their father. So he felt like, hey, I got to be like daddy. I got to be like daddy. Okay, Marlene wasn't there as a mother because she worked multiple jobs to pay the bills. And there's nothing wrong with that, women. If you're a single mother, you are resorting to have to do that because you don't have a second income coming in, which then takes away from you mothering your children, which then takes away from your children being able to come to you and say, hey, mama, this is going on with me. Can I talk to you? When your children feel like they can't talk to you, then what do? They internalize those things. They hold on to those things. That's why it's important to have conversations with your children. Find out what is going on in their mind, in their hearts, in their spirits. Check on them from time to time. Sit down with them just sporadically and talk to your children and see what's going on inside of them. Because society nowadays are raising our children. YouTube is raising our children. Television is raising our children. Total strangers are raising our children. So if you're not checking in periodically with your kids to see what's going on with them, you can't be mad when they turn out to be something that you thought that you raised to be respectful, to be disrespectful. Because they learned it from somewhere. They learned it from somewhere. Okay. So Martel has spoken on the fact that his grandmother, like I said, Inez, was the person who raised him and taught him everything that he knows. Okay. Now, we've never heard him praise his mama. And I keep saying it. I ain't never heard him really praise his mama. Now, he introduced her. That's my mama. He said he loved his mama, but I have not heard him speak in terms of adoring her as he did his grandmother. Okay. Now, Martel, like I said, he loves Marlene, but gives Inez, which is his grandmother, the credit for being this positive female in his life. Okay. Could it be that his grandmother protected him over his mother? Could it be that, grandmothers, they have a special place in their life, in their heart for their grandchildren. I'm that way with my grandmother. Okay. I love the hell out of my grandmother, just like she's my mom. And I love my mom as well. But grandmothers have a special place in your life as grandmother. She's like a second mother to me. I can call my grandma right now and talk to her on the phone. She will pray with me. I can talk to her about anything because we have that relationship, that bond. I look just like my grandmother. It's crazy. I'm always talking positive about my grandmother and about my mother, but it's a special soft spot for grandmothers. I love my grandmother. Okay. Now, Martel has a bond with Marlene because his grandmother is no longer here. Now, his bond is stronger with his mother now because grandma ain't here. So as a female, he needs that female dynamic. So he's reaching back and saying, okay, this is my mama. She really wasn't as close to me as a child, but she's still my mother. So let me bring you on national television. Let me tell the world that you're my mother, even though I don't really adore you like I adore the other person who I consider to be my mother. He sat at the table and almost cried, talking about how much he missed his grandmother in front of his own mother. And all she could do was sip her wine and say, yeah, I miss her too. It has to hurt that your son would skip over you and have that type of love and adoration for you versus the person who raised you, which is your mama. He loved your mama more than he loved you. Let's continue. The reason that Martel has such a crazy relationship with Melody now, okay, only stems from the fact that she left him. Martel held Melody to the same standard as his grandmother, Inez, and his mother, Marlene, okay? So losing Melody was like losing his grandmother again because, as Martel has admitted, that Melody used to give him all the things that his mother and grandmother gave him when they were married, okay? She probably made him sandwiches, which he said was his favorite food. She coddled him. She took care of him and even protected him and allowed him to appear to be the man when he stepped out, when she was really running things. We've seen that on the show. Martel didn't know anything about public speaking, but he stood up there with Melody, and that made him feel like he was the man. Okay? She didn't want to demasculate him in terms of business, running Holt and Holt. For the longest time, he wanted everybody to believe that he was running things, when it was really Melody. And for a while, she allowed people to think that, but it wasn't until she left him that everything became voila, if I can say it that way. Everything came out that she was the boss and not what he was telling everybody else. You didn't have a builder's license. When she left, those went with her. When all the businesses, they had to do away with the businesses, which then that put him in a space to where he couldn't take care of himself. Melody was running everything. Martel was only running out and running up in people. That's the only thing you were doing. She was running the business. You were running over to go home. And I'm going to have to say it that way because that's what you did. You weren't focused on learning anything. Hence the reason you're struggling now. You didn't learn the business because you were so focused on running around with other women, not thinking that Melody was going to ever leave you. And now that she has left him, there's a void there because Melody, he put Melody in that same mindset in terms of this Melody treats me like my mom. He loved that. So her walking away from him, he feels that she abandoned him, just as his mother did. Do y'all understand that? He feels that Melody abandoned him. That's why he won't leave her alone. That's why he won't let it go. It's been what, going on 3 years or so now. He's still on it because he, in his mind, is you have the audacity to abandon me and leave me. And you see I'm struggling and you won't come back and help me. But this is something that you chose. This is something that you chose. So as an adult, this is what you have to deal with. It's called life. It's called being an adult. And he was not held at that standard as a child. So as a grown man, he feels like everybody is supposed to give him things because that's what he experienced as a child from his grandmother. He grew up poor. Martel had nothing. And now it scares the hell out of him that he is slowly headed back to that space because now he's had a taste of having fame and some fortune. He and Melody lived well when they were together. So her leaving him puts him back in a destitute, poor place. And it's embarrassing to him because he was able to walk around and tell everybody, I'm the man. I'm running this. I'm this, and this. He can't say that too much now. He could put on the suits and look like he did back then. But everybody sees his slip hanging since Melody walked out and left him. Okay? Martel had a bad life growing up. He was picked on, he was picked over, he was picked apart, he was bullied. So his obsession with being the man and feeling like he finally is winning in life makes him become very aggressive and makes him become cocky. It makes him also narcissistic and refuse to take accountability because he now feels the world finally owes him something because he went his whole life without. Martel feels the world owes him something. He feels the world owes him something. I believe Martel has cried to Carlos and told him about his personal life and things that happened to him in his childhood. And I believe that he and Carlos may have some similarities there, which is why they are so close and have bonded the way that they have, which is why Carlos continues to protect Martel the way that he has done and even cried for him on national television sitting at the reunion. I believe that Carlos has shared some very personal things with Martel about his life as well, which, okay, gave Martel some ammunition against Carlos to be able to act out and still feel like he's untouchable because of his sympathy for him and the abuse that he endured as a child. Y'all see the connection there? I believe the two of them have had a very in-depth conversation about some of the things that Martel has gone through, which is why Carlos is not so quick to fire him from the show and reprimand him for things that he should reprimand him for. Martel gets away with a lot of stuff, and he uses this, oh, as a child, this happened to me, and blah, 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 blah. He wants everybody to feel sorry for him. What, you're a grown man now. You are able to take accountability, but because Carlos feels sorry for him because of things that he endured as a child, he will not hold his feet to the fire and make him take accountability. Martel has allegedly been spotted, like I said, in LGBTQ community clubs in Atlanta. We'll say allegedly. There were several people that came out and said they had pictures of this as proof. Why would a homophobic person like Martel allegedly be seen in that type of space, risking being noticed? Okay. Martel's circle includes several LGBT men, and he's very comfortable around them. Okay. He's around Carlos. He goes on interviews with Carlos. Carlos was very kind of touchy-feely like with him, and which I noticed they were very comfortable like that. Okay. Touching him on the back. He was all up on him in pictures, and it just looked a little uncomfortable for me. Okay. He hangs out with him. He even calls him Los. He's just that close with him. I talked about it the other day. He calls Carlos Los, and that's your boss. So they have a friendship dynamic like that to where they are on the buddy-buddy system. Okay. He hangs with Sheree Whitfleld, who is also an LGBT male, who Martel was seen all up in his face having conversations without Sheree. This is Sheree Whitfleld. What you hanging out with him for? But you don't want your children's uncle, who is of the LGBT community, to watch them. But you're comfortable being in this space, all right? We already talked about Belinda's babysitter, where Martel felt comfortable leaving Boss Baby and probably some of his other children there. And he felt comfortable doing this babysitter felt comfortable doing a whole live to even discuss being around Boss Baby when he really probably was not supposed to be. And I'm sure probably Melody does not know that. She knows now because it's on the internet, but also now Martel claims that no other men watch his kids, which we see that is a lie. The kids were also said to be at and watched by his Uncle Sam, like I said, who is a whole criminal who was also in the whole ATM heist with Martel. Okay, he was a part of that. He was arrested at the same time that Martel was arrested. He was laying in a ditch when the police found him. Okay, his Uncle Sam's wife was also involved in that, including another gentleman who was a friend of theirs. So they all were involved. Martel is a criminal as well. So if anybody should not be around the Eminem kids, I would say it's their own father. Okay, Martel's brother, like I said, was watching him. He's a street guy. Okay, so the kids are safer with an ATM thief and a street thug over Marcus, their uncle, who doesn't even so much as have a police record. Marcus is educated. He's a family member who has mentioned, okay, that the kids and the Eminem kids love him and respect him. And Marcus is also, like I said, an educator and mentors other children as well. The kids love Marcus. Okay. I think that Martel is very pathological, that he's also a controlling narc who is and that he's using his own childhood pain and abandonment to control Melody and his children and those around him because he feels that he has access to power now since he's befriended and poured out his heart to Carlos. All right. He feels like he has a certain power. You guys saw where he said, well, Carson is not going to be on the show, as if he hires and fires for Love and Marriage Huntsville. He feels he has some type of power now. He feels he has some power on this show in terms of firing and hiring on this damn show. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Carlos is holding on to his secrets. Carlos knows some things. He does. He'll probably never tell it. Okay. Mr. I'm not abusive. When we've seen up close and personal that you, Martel, that you, where Marceau had to hop out of a whole pool in Vegas to come and bear hug you, to hold you and whisper in your ear and tell you that he's not letting you go. I think I got a picture. We've seen several times where you've been aggressive, sir. I think I got that picture, and I need to show it just to show what aggression looks like. Okay. Yeah. Marceau had to jump out the pool. That's when everybody was saying he was like a whole wet seal. Okay. He like a whole wet seal when he jumped out of the pool to go grab Martel. Here it is. I got it right here. Yeah. Production actually screamed out. This was during the time that he and Melody were yelling and fussing in Vegas. Production yelled out to Marceau while he was in the pool and says, I need you now. Exclamation point means right now, bitch. Get out the pool now. Martel was in there going crazy on Melody, screaming and hollering and getting ready to buck up on her. And production was even scared. Okay. Production was even nervous. Okay. Let me show you guys this here. He says he's never been aggressive. I'm about to prove you wrong, sir. Y'all know I live for a good receipt. Okay. We got to show receipts when we talk because Martel loves to big himself up to be this person. Now on this picture, this is where Marceau is bear hugging him, where he says, I'm putting my hands on you and I'm not, and you're not going to get them off. This is what he's telling Martel. Y'all remember this scene when he ran in, you can see he's still wet from the pool. Marceau is. Martel is trying to get to Melody in this moment, but he's saying that he's not abusive. He said the same thing in the video with Ariane, where Ariane had to sit there and stare at the floor whenever the rumor was out that the two of them had some type of altercation. Ariane couldn't even look at Martel. She was staring at the floor because she knew that he was sitting there lying. It was something that happened. Marceau even said that the relationship between Ariane and Martel is very aggressive. He is very aggressive towards Ariane. He said it at the reunion. Now, if you're not aggressive, why does a grown man have to hop out of a pool at the direction of production and tell him to get in there now, that I need you now, because Martel is acting out? Why is that? I got another picture. I just want to show what aggression looks like from a person who sat in a whole interview and said, I'm not aggressive. To get to know me is to love me. This is aggression. This is what aggression looks like. This stems from something happening in your childhood that has grown up in you, because what would make you so angry at the mother of your child to make you this angry on national television to where you forget the cameras are rolling, to where you then go up to your ex-wife and be on this type of anger towards her. But you're loved. But you're loved. Look at this. In another situation in Vegas, where Marceau is having to talk to him in his ear to reel him off the ledge, because he is in fight mode once again with Melody. He has aggression towards women because his own mother did not protect him as a child, and he is angry, and he is taking that out on the person who is closest to him, which is his ex-wife. That is why he won't leave Melody alone. That's aggression. Don't get no more aggressive than that. Okay. Mr. I don't want my kids watched by a male, but you allow babysitters of the LGBT community with your narcissistic, homophobic ass. You are. You can hang around the LGBT community, but you will not allow your children's uncle, who is of the LGBT community, to be around them. So what is the difference? You can go out partying and twirling around with them tight ass pants on, but your children can't be with their uncle who is of the LGBT community. Make it make sense. Children, he said I only left them there for 20 minutes. For a couple hours. He said, I think the kids were only there for a couple hours. I was only 20 minutes away. It only takes 5 minutes to violate a child. For anybody who's ever been in a situation where they've been violated, it don't take but 5 seconds for someone to violate you in a way that they should not. It doesn't take but 5 seconds for a child to get injured in someone else's care. So it doesn't matter if it was 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 hours, 57 seconds. It doesn't matter. You still did not call their mother to say, hey, I'm here in Atlanta and I found someone to watch our children and I'm just letting you know. What if something happens to you? Their mother don't even know where they are. Anything can happen. You can get into a car accident on your way to your destination. The mother of your children do not know where your children are. You know why you didn't tell her that? You didn't tell her where the children were. You didn't feel like she needed to have first right of refusal because you were sneaking and doing something that you told her she could not do. That's why you didn't tell her. That's why you didn't tell her, because you made a rule for her and you didn't even follow your own rule. So you didn't want to tell her because you didn't want her to have any type of ammunition against you. That's all it was. She can go and have this whole thing turned over, honey. Go right on the court and have it overturned. Kenya Moore did it. Her ex-husband, I don't want Brooklyn on national television. I don't think she should film. Well, Kenya was like, look, first of all, with her filming, she is a part of my storyline. And that's the same with Melody. Her children are a part of her storyline. But because their sorry-ass, greedy-ass husband, her ex-husband, wants to have a piece of the pie when you walked away from that. You didn't want the pie. You walked away from it. You chose to eat shit. Ariana's shit. She's trash. And that's what you chose. She has nothing. So you walked away from everything to be with nothing. And you don't want that nothing. But now you mad and you trying to block the bag of your mother who is trying to create a legacy for your children with them filming. If they do get a check, I'm sure she's putting it into an account for them to be able to use later on in life. But because you don't want to see your children do well, because you're not doing well, that speaks volumes to the type of bitch assness that reside within you, sir. That's total bitch assness to not want to see your children be great and have things when you don't pay for child support. You don't pay for them to go to the doctor. You're not paying for them to go to therapy. Why wouldn't you want them to appear on national television or social media or have businesses in order for them to create legacies and have money in account so that they can be great? You're not helping Melody take care of these children as you're supposed to. You don't get them when it's your time to get them most of the time because you ain't got no money. Melody's children are used to going places and doing things, not sitting in the house and you telling them you can't do TikTok videos. You need to read a book when you don't even read a book. He don't want the kids to be kids because he's miserable. The kids got to come to your house and be questioned like they on First 48. Instead of allowing them to be kids, but because you're miserable and you want to know so much about what their mother is doing because you're not with it. You didn't care what she was doing when you were stepping out. So I'm not sure why you so, worried about what she's doing now and who she's with now and when she's in and out of town, which is a lot. When I applaud her for that, honey, do not sit at home and be depressed and upset about something that Martel used to do to you. Melody catch flights. She do not catch feelings. And I applaud her for packing her suitcase, baby, and hopping on a flight and going and living her best life and not allowing this situation to have her in a, messed up space to where she cannot even focus and be a businesswoman. Melody be catching them flights. She just took the kids on vacation right after she just came back from her own vacation. Melody stay in the air. Do you hear me? Oh, she does. She does. And Martel misses that because that's the lifestyle he used to live with her. So any little thing that he can do to bring her down and or try to stop her bag and block her peace, that's what he wants to do because he's miserable now that she left him. It hurts him not to be able to go on vacation, and it really hurt him to go on the vacation with them to Destin. That pissed him off. Even though he was happy to go, to be on a free vacation, in the back of his mind, he felt like this shit right here is fucking me up because I'm supposed to be here. And the fact that she told you, no, I don't want you on the same floor as me. I want you down there with the children. That further let him know I don't have a chance with her anymore. So he had already made up in his mind at the Destin trip that I'm getting ready to take these kids since she ain't going to take me back. Melody's not going to take me back. I'm going to play along. I'm going to go on and do this little free trip because I don't know when I'm going to get to go on no other vacation. But in the back of his mind, he was already planning his demise and what he was going to do in terms of coming after her. And I think his mama knew it as well because he's been talking negative about Melody to his mother. And she agreed with anything he say because I feel like she's scared of him. I feel like Marlene cannot tell Martel right from wrong because I think that she's seen a side of him that's on and she's afraid to check him on that. So she agrees with whatever he says and whatever he does is wrong. She's a yes man when it comes to him. She is. I think she's afraid of her son. And I feel like he probably holds over her head what she did not do for him as a child anytime she does try to check him. I see him doing it because he does it with Melody all the time. Anytime Melody tries to check him, that's his go-to of what he feels like she didn't do or that she did to him. He will not take accountability, but he's quick to throw up what he feels someone else did to him. But he don't accept the fact that you're the one that's been doing the most. I see him doing that with his mom. I see him doing that with his mom. I think his mother is scared as hell of him. And I say allegedly. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I think Melody needs to go to court and have it overturned. Many celebrities who work, their children also film. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't feel like the children have to be of age to say, oh, I want to film or I don't. You didn't have a problem with it before when the children were on the show. Did you guys see that he had a problem with the Eminem kids filming or being on social media? Hell, he posted them. Every time he and the kids, every week that Martel had them kids, he posted them. It wasn't until he was not allowed to get half of Sugar Mama's money for her Sugar Mama business that Martel put these damn rules down to say, well, I don't want them to film. I don't want my children on social media, which then that blocked you from showing everybody that you were such a great father, because that's the only reason you were posting pictures in the first place, to show the pick-me's that you had your children and to show the pick-me's that you're such a great father so they can hop in the comments and be saying, oh, Martel is such a great dad. Look, he's out to eat with his children. You were posting videos and everything else about you and them damn kids. When Melody had already put it out there, you didn't have to come and get them damn kids. You didn't care nothing about them kids, and you won't pay no child support or help and do anything for the children. She was doing it all. You were just getting them on the weeks that you were supposed to get them so that you could have your photo ops and make all the pick-me's and everybody else think that you were such a good dad. That's all you were doing. That's all you were doing. You wanted full custody of these children so that you can go throw them off on Belinda's babysitter and anybody else that can watch them so you can go out and hold. You don't want them kids. You want the money that was going to be attached to them kids because you done sat down with Ariana and done told Ariana, this going to be our come up. We about to live good. Watch me take Melody to court for child support. Watch me have Melody pay for my my attorney's fees. When you try to sit there and say that you didn't ask for that when you did. Queen Sheba had to go and pry it up out of him. Say, Martel, you didn't ask for child support? Wait, where did you get that from? Bitch, out of the court papers. Where do you think it came from? Oh, I need to pay for that so that I can get all the court papers so that I can read up on it. Bitch, don't do that. Your comprehension skills still ain't gonna allow you to even comprehend the fact that you did it and your ass was even there in court. That's wasted time and money. Save that for your Popeyes, okay? Because you buying them court papers gonna set you back a few months on something to eat at your house and maybe have your lights turned out because we already know how you live. We already know how you living over there. We know how you live in Martel. For a person who don't pay child support and who don't support their children as they should, Martel, you have the most rules. And it's all out of being vindictive and it's all out of you not getting the help. That's why Martel don't want to go to therapy. He don't want his therapist to know the secrets that he is sitting on and that he's holding on to. And I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. A person who have a lot of skeletons in their closet, they don't want to talk to somebody else about that. That's painful. Martel don't like to show emotions. He don't like to be emotional. When they showed him at the scene when he went to therapy with Melody on the show, Melody reached over to try to console him when he got to a point to where he was about to break down and cry, talking about the two of them not being together. He tried to tell her, stop that. I'm not crying. He was almost at a breaking point to where he was going to show emotion, and he stopped her. It's something in him that clicked and said, don't you cry. He pulled back from that emotion because narcs don't like to show emotion. Oh, he was not going to cry. He was not getting ready to give Melody that. And if anybody know him when he gets emotional, and I'm willing to bet Melody have seen him cry a few times, but he was not going to allow himself to be emotional and vulnerable on national television. Narcs don't like that. I think I got a picture of it. I think I got a picture. He turned his head. He closed his eyes tight to hold them tears in, baby. He was not about to sit there and cry. Even the therapist was saying, it's okay. Let it out. It's fine. It's okay. That's why he's saying, yeah, when I go to therapy, they said, well, what did you get out of therapy? He couldn't tell you what he got out of therapy because he's not ready to be transparent. Something happened to Martel as a child. I'm going to say allegedly. But that anger, that rage that he has inside of him comes from somewhere. And it's deeper than this divorce from Melody. I thought about this thing, y'all. I thought about this. And he only has aggression towards women. Think about it. He don't have that towards men. Do you see how calm he was in this past episode with Lewis? When Lewis was approaching him. Even when Lewis put his hands on him like this and was challenging him, the only thing he did was move his hand down. He wasn't like this here like he was on Melody in Vegas. He was not rah-rah on Lewis. The only other person that I think that he probably got rah-rah on, and we didn't even get to see that, but we did hear about this person was scared enough to go down and get a police report on Martel, and that was Marceau. He knows how crazy Martel is and how far he will go. Martel don't have that energy towards men. He don't run up on men. Even when he was mad at Marcus on the episode when they were dressed just alike for the little Halloween event at, I want to say Madani outside. He did all this big talk about, oh, I'm talking to Marcus. Oh, I'm going to confront him. When he saw him, he was on the calm down. Well, these are my children, you know. He didn't raise his voice not one time at Marcus. His voice did not raise one time at Marcus. But when it comes to Melody, she gets it. He snapped on Destiny before. He's gonna snap on. He did it with, y'all saw the energy he had with Tiffany. He don't have that energy towards men, but he have it towards women because there's something that happened. There's something that happened to this boy. Here it is. This is Martel. I found the pictures. I'm glad I did because I wanted to show him. This is him in a therapy session with Melody. Now, this is when the therapy was going well. As soon as they started getting deep, this is Martel. Okay? Let me show you guys the emotions of Martel. This is him when he's about to break down and start crying. Right before Melody reached over to get ready to rub his back to console him before he told her, I'm not getting ready to start crying. This is him getting into a vulnerable state. It's something that bothered him whenever Melody talked about her leaving and the divorce and them having to dissolve their businesses. When he thought about that, the abandonment bothered him to where he almost broke down and started crying. He had to turn his head and close his eyes real tight. Y'all remember the episode? Look at how he's looking at Melody. Look how he's looking at Melody. Like, it's the audacity of you to walk away from me, regardless to what he's done to this woman. Like, it's the audacity of you to walk away. Here he is here when Melody reaches over to try to console him when he's about to start crying. Mr. I'm not emotional. I'm not about to cry. This is him telling her, get off me. He told her literally, get off me. I'm not about to cry. After everything he had done to her, she still was reaching over to try to console him after everything he had done. And by this time, he had already talked all kind of shit about her online. He cussed her out. He had ran up on her, disrespected her thoroughly. And she still was reaching over, trying to console him. And he would not accept that because as a narc, they don't show emotions. Let me turn it this way, make it bigger. Look at that. This is what a narc looks like. Martel has some deep-rooted issues. Deep-rooted issues. It's deeper than that divorce. I keep telling y'all. Y'all gonna listen to me one day. But we are going into 2 hours, you guys. Let's go ahead and end it because YouTube don't like us to be on here too long. I did not get to connect with you guys yesterday, but I wanted to come back since I was feeling much better today to come back and connect with you guys and have a conversation with you guys and talk about some very deep stuff. I like to get deep sometimes. Sometimes we have some stuff where we can laugh. I had some laughing moments in here, but I also like to talk about very deep stuff. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining. We got 874 in the building, 688 likes. Let's get the likes up. If you guys did not like the video coming in, please like it on your way out. Also subscribe to this channel because y'all know we got the tea over here, honey. I leave little gems. Also follow me on the Caramel Rell Show on Facebook, guys, because I leave a lot of tea and nuggets over there. I'm always in there posting stuff. For those of you that follow me, you know that we have a good time over there. We have jokes and we really do. So definitely go on over there and subscribe to the Caramel Rell Show on Facebook. If for those of you that have Facebook pages, and also come on and subscribe on over here. Again, thank you guys for the 10K. It's over 10K now. I still appreciate you guys' support. I really do. Okay. Somebody said excellent analysis. Yeah, this is something that I kind of thought on, and I'm a deep thinker. I'm a very deep thinker. But thank you guys. And somebody that was watching today, you guys can relate to a lot of what I was saying. You guys, you know, when you're in that type of mind frame, when you've gone through something like that as a child, you really don't want to talk about it, and it does affect you in a very, very real way. Okay. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Maz, for doing such a great job. Thank you to any content creators that joined us today as well. Okay. We're going to go ahead and let you guys go. I've held y'all up for 2 hours. Love you guys all the way down. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Love and Marriage Huntsville review. As a matter of fact, it's getting ready to come on now. So let me go so I can go watch and get my show together for that. Okay. So I will be back tomorrow for the Love and Marriage Huntsville review, which will be episode 10 of season 6. Okay. Love you. Goodbye.